Welcome back to Keeping Score, episode 7, I believe now. We missed 2 college football weeks, but only 1 NFL week, so we'll get you updated on both of those. But let's start with the U.S. Open, which ended. It was really fun tournament to watch. Djokovic dominated throughout the tournament, was totally... He was going for the Grand Slam. He had won the Aussie Open, the French Open, and Wimbledon. But he gets dominated by Medvedev, who was 1v2 in straight sets. In the women's, Emma Raducanu won. She looks amazing. They were both players in that game were unranked teenagers, and really, I mean, like, they look like the future of the sport. They were
Emma didn't lose a set the entire tournament.
Yeah. True. It was, they both look really, really good and will probably win a lot of tournaments in the future. Really good tournament to watch, but Emma and Medvedev get the wins there. In soccer, not much going on. Ronaldo played his first game for Man U. I believe he scored 2 goals.
Yeah, he scored a couple.
He was in Man U to start his career. Then I believe he went to Real Madrid.
Juventus.
Then he went to
Juventus.
So he went from 3 different countries. Back to the Premier League with Man U. Man U still first on the table there now, with Chelsea right behind them. Real Madrid is leading La Liga. Barcelona is actually, I think, only has like 2 wins so far, and Real has 3, so I don't know what's going on there, but it'll probably figure itself out in the end. But not much going on there. And MLB, the pennant races are happening. Not much going on other than the wild card. There's a 3-way tie for the wild card
all from the AL East.
Right. Yeah, Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees. That's crazy. And the Rays, the team you would least expect to be winning that division.
Well,
are maybe clinched?
Orioles?
To winning that division?
I'm saying the Orioles are the team you least expect to win.
Oh, right. But
out of that 4, I would say going into the season, the Rays.
Definitely the Rays.
After trading Glasnow, didn't seem like they were...
Yeah, a lot of good young players working out for them. The AL is going to be a really good race. I think the A's are close also in that race.
Yeah, Starlin Marte's been killing it for them.
Yeah, the Blue Jays, I'm pretty sure, have been breaking records this last week. They've scored like 40 runs in their last 2 games. I saw that they had scored 27 runs in 4 straight innings, like from the 8th and 9th of one game to the 1st and 2nd of another game.
Yeah.
They play like the Orioles in a series. They are red hot. They came from behind to catch the Red Sox and Yankees. So I think all teams are kind of hot there right now, except for maybe the Red Sox.
It's the craziest thing that Vlad is chasing the Triple Crown, yet he's not going to win the MVP.
Why? Shohei
Ohtani's winning the MVP.
Right. I believe he tied Shohei for the home runs.
He took the lead.
He took the lead, too? Yeah,
Shohei may have gotten it back by now, but last I saw, Vlad took the lead.
I feel like Shohei hasn't hit that many home runs in the second half of the season. Like, he's still, like, maintained his lead and stuff. Like, he's hit a home run, but, like, before, he was hitting a home run, like, every day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in the NL, the Dodgers clinched. They're, I believe, like, 20 games up, beating any other team. That's another one where 3 teams in the same division are making the playoffs. Wait, yeah, maybe, because the Padres might make the wild card, but...
Padres, I don't think they're going to make it.
I think the Cardinals took the lead with this series win against the Mets. I think they're...
that was a big win for them.
Yeah, which basically knocked the Mets completely out of the playoffs and most likely will be the reason that they don't make the playoffs this year. Not good for the Mets. I don't know what the situation is last year. I cannot imagine they would ever sign Javi Baez because I can't see them giving $200 million more after giving Lindor $400 million. I think Conforto, especially after the year he had, it would be a much cheaper choice. Not much cheaper, but cheaper.
I think it would be cheaper.
And yeah, definitely,
especially with what Javi did for the Mets once he came here.
yeah,
It's like basically like carbon copy of Cespedes in 2015.
yeah.
Except the Mets weren't winning games.
Yeah, it's definitely will probably be Conforto that they'll sign, and I think also Stroman's into his year. He also had a great year, so that'll probably be expensive.
I want to keep Stroman. I love Stroman.
Yeah, but I think Javi might not be coming back. Hopefully McNeil can get it back together next year. Conforto, Lindor. Lindor's been hot. Had a 3-home run game against the Yankees.
That game was incredible.
One of the greatest games I've seen the entire year. But then they end up getting swept or lose to the
I think
swept by the Cardinals, and that kind of does it. But yeah, so it's Cards, Padres, and the Reds, who also were one of those teams that just came out of nowhere this year. A lot of young players. Jonathan India. I mean, just
he's very good.
Joey Votto,
Castellanos,
is
Winker,
so good, right? Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah, if Eugenio Suarez
can start sitting for average, yeah. Like he's hitting 100 this year, but he also has 30 home runs.
Does he have 30 home runs?
He has a lot of home runs.
Yeah, well, he's not his normal self right now. If he picks it up, they are going to be very scary.
Yeah, and may make the playoffs. Padres started the year. They looked like they were going to win the division. Other than the Giants, and then have been pretty cold recently. They might not make it. But it's definitely Dodgers have already clinched. That's it for the MLB. Let's move into the NBA, which, again, nothing going on. Not sure where this is. Maybe 11 or 12, 13, 14, something like that.
I believe it's 11-12.
11-12. So it's James Bouknight. This is Gem or Bust. James Bouknight from UConn to the Hornets.
He is a bucket. Can score from all 3 levels. Quick athlete. Michael Jordan loves him there in Charlotte. He should be a great compliment to them.
Right, Wait, is Michael Jordan the owner?
He's the owner.
He's the owner.
Yeah. I think he's going to be very good. He was fun to watch at UConn. Surprised he didn't go farther in the tournament, but he's definitely a gem for me.
James Bouknight? Yeah, but I've heard similar that he's just a really good scorer. So yeah, Michael Jordan loves him. I assume that means he's probably going to be a good player. I'll go Gem. Josh Primo, I love Bama. I've been loved Bama for a bunch of years now. That just the 3-point shooting knockdown game.
It's a fun style of play.
Yeah, it's just fun basketball to watch.
However,
they did get upset by UCLA.
This pick,
they went far in the tournament.
This was not the right pick for the Spurs at 12. Josh Primo.
Who do the Spurs even need?
I mean, I guess he kind of fits their timeline since they're, they got rid of DeRozan. It looks like they're starting to commit to the rebuild. Primo's very young. He's very raw, unpolished, and he was projected to go late first, early second, and the Spurs took him at 12.
I mean,
if he's their guy, I get that, but they could have there's no doubt in my mind they could have moved down and got him. So for that reason, I'm gonna go with bust, but I wouldn't be shocked if Primo does end up being a good player because Summer League could look like a natural scorer.
Yeah.
But I don't like the value of this pick. I feel like they definitely could have got him lower.
I agree. They probably could have gotten him lower, but I mean, especially as you said, they're starting their rebuild. A guy like that, super young, super raw, with just a really natural, young, talented scorer. I think that can be great for them. And while maybe they could have gotten him lower, I still like the pick, so I'm gonna go Gem. So yeah, let's move into the NFL. Week 1 happening. NFL is started. Very exciting. The Thursday night game was Bucks versus Cowboys. Really exciting game.
Great game.
People were unsure about Dak with the ankle, with the shoulder. I mean, he threw 400 yards against
400
yards. Defenses.
60 passes. They unleashed Dak.
They totally have no. I mean, we mentioned this in an earlier episode, they signed him to a ridiculous deal, maybe $40 million a year.
Yeah, they don't pay him that money if they don't think.
If they don't know for sure that he is as healthy as can be and is going to be incredible, and so far he's looked like
that
one of the best.
Looked potent.
Very, very good, and against one of the best teams in the league. They look like they're going to be.
Yeah.
And the NFC East in general looks like it's totally turned around, except for the Giants, because the Eagles dominated against the Falcons.
I was impressed with Hurts.
Totally.
Smitty looked great.
Oh, Devontae Smith, excellent.
That
their
committee
defense
with
shut them down.
Sanders and Gainwell at the backfield look good.
They look like they have a great offense.
That defensive front is very good.
And the Falcons have a legit offense, and they were able to shut them down. I think 6 points.
6 points.
If
yeah,
the
they
Eagles,
got legit weapons.
They
Ridley.
Did they? Oh no. Did they? They drafted Smitty, right? I think they drafted a corner. I think they do need corners, but
yeah, their secondary hasn't been great the past few years.
But they look amazing.
Last year it looked
spectacular.
Yeah, they did. Receivers were a huge need for them, and they correct Warrior track is full, and those are starting receivers. It's not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Smitty was the right pick.
Yeah.
Showed that.
Big week for them, and same with the Redskins, which I don't think they played great. They still don't really have a quarterback. They probably should have gotten one. Fitz got hurt. Taylor Heineke, he looked pretty good in the playoffs last year. Yeah, I kind of like that kid. But yeah, they just have a lot of talent everywhere else on their team. Great O-line. Gibson's great. McLaurin.
Great. Logan Thomas.
Yeah, a lot of good offensive threats, and their defensive line is probably the best in the league. Maybe they need a corner or two. But yeah, I think they definitely have a good chance of being very good this year. And the same thing, obviously, for the Cowboys, look like going to be a top 5, top 10, top 5 team in the league. I mean, look of it.
Maybe
the Buccaneers
offense.
are supposed to be the best team in the
Maybe
league.
offense.
I've heard rumors of 17-0 from experts. I mean, I've seen a lot of.
All right, that's fun.
It was a great. If Dak can play like that, Amari Cooper went off. Zeke really didn't do anything, and they still. If their passing game is that good, I think they're just gonna outscore everybody. It's not really even about having a good defense. They got a bunch of linebackers back they didn't have last year. I think they're gonna.
Yeah, Micah Parsons look good.
Micah Parsons looks great. Leighton Van Der Esch looks
up
great.
Mike Evans.
Yeah.
So that defense definitely has some upside. They can put it together. Then the team will
Certainly.
be scary.
Yeah, they've had DeMarcus Lawrence for a while. He's
hurt.
He's
Broke his foot.
out for the year.
I don't know his timetable, but probably not the year.
Well, he broke his foot in that game.
No, yesterday at practice.
Yesterday at practice. So after he played in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, oof, that's tough. Yeah, the Texans beat the Jags. Trevor Lawrence threw 3 picks. I called him a bust back in the first episode.
You did?
Kieran,
I don't think
said he was definitely a gem.
I think this game is more on Urban Meyer than anyone. I mean,
they're playing the Texans.
He's playing the Texans.
And he threw 3 picks.
Terrible. They threw it 51
gotta be the
times.
worst team in the league, and they lost by a lot of
Receivers
points.
are dropping passes, and you have a Pro Bowl running back in James Robinson. You run it with him 5 times.
Didn't look great.
He looked 5 carries, 25 yards, 5 yards per carry. It's Urban Meyer. The offense was not ready. So many flags. I mean, I think this game is completely on Urban Meyer, and I think it's rather ridiculous for you to be calling Trevor Lawrence a bust after his first game.
I'm not calling him a bust after this game. I called him a bust since the beginning. I think he is a bust. Not based on this game. I'm not saying he's a bust. He threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. But 3 picks against one of the worst teams in the league is not cutting it. And it's not even about the stat line. Much about if you're losing by 3 possessions to probably the worst team in the league, you are not leading a team that is a really good, as you said, a really good offense. There's a lot of talent on that O-line. There's definitely a lot of good young receivers there that can make a difference. And a Pro Bowl, I wouldn't say Pro Bowl, but he played very well last year. Great receiving back last year.
He set records. He had 1,500 scrimmage yards.
All right, but it's 1 year.
And Urban Meyer gives him 5 carries. He didn't have a carry, so 3 minutes left in the second quarter.
He's more of a receiving back last year.
He had over 20 carries 3 times last year.
Maybe people have figured him out. He's not that fast. He's kind of big physical guy, but
so if he has 5 carries
physical guy.
for 25 yards, coming off a 1,500-yard year.
How many targets did he have?
He had 8 targets, and it doesn't matter. You got to give him the ball on the ground.
All right. Yeah, maybe they'll figure that out. I wonder who they play next week. If they play somebody.
The Broncos.
Oh, so another chance to play a not the best
Broncos
defensive
are
team.
good.
Defensively?
They have solid
You can't
defense.
say that based on who they played.
Well, they're just. I mean, like Von Miller, Bradley Chubb.
No, they have
Surtain,
Simmons.
Kyle Fuller.
They have
You're
Kyle
right.
Fuller?
Yeah.
They still have Simmons, right?
Jeffrey Simmons.
No.
The
Safety.
Yeah,
I love
as
that
far
guy.
as I know. And they just got Surtain.
Right.
They got a defense.
No, they have weapons on defense, but do they have depth and
Bryce Callahan.
do they have a good coaching
Teddy Two
staff?
Gloves?
Can they put it all together?
Teddy Two Gloves.
Teddy,
Jerry Jeudy
Teddy
injury
Two
is tough.
Gloves.
That is rough.
What?
Jerry Jeudy injury hurts. I have big hopes for him this year. I hope.
Oh, Jerry Jeudy got hurt, you're saying?
Yeah.
What do he do? Is he out for the year or what do you
46 weeks, high ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain. You hate to see that.
Yeah.
He looked good too.
He was playing very well.
That's basically it for the NFC West dominated. Every team won the game. Every team.
NFC and AFC West, 8-0 combined.
AFC West. Who's that?
Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, and.
But they didn't look that good.
All right, they still went 1-0.
The Raiders looked great. The Chargers did not look good at all. The Chiefs did not look good at all.
Lost that game for themselves.
Patrick Mahomes. This might not be a bold take. This might be a bold take. Here, chill. This might be a bold take. Maybe not. But I personally think Baker 100% outplayed Patrick Mahomes in that game. 100% outplayed him. And he got bailed out. Mahomes got bailed out by multiple special teams issues. And
did you see the fourth quarter of that game?
They were dominating. Yeah, he played a good fourth quarter. Baker Mayfield played 4 great quarters.
He did not play great in the fourth.
He played great in the fourth.
Then why didn't they score in the fourth?
They didn't score on the one game-winning drive against one of the best defenses in the league. That was one
score.
bad play.
If you're gonna call him, if you're gonna say you outplayed him, he's got to play well when it matters.
He outplayed. I mean, I'm saying without those special teams issues, without the punt where the guy dropped the punt because it was at Kansas City and there was a full stadium and people were screaming and the guy dropped the punt. I mean, maybe that game ends up differently. Right. Dominated the first half. I think Baker outplayed him. The Titans got totally dominated by that was a surprise by the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I thought the Cardinals were going to win, but they got totally dominated.
Kyler's definitely up there for MVP this year.
Definitely. He made one great
phenomenal
play where he just scrambled throughout in the pocket and then just fell back.
There are multiple plays like that.
Yeah, he's kind of one of those players.
Fun to watch.
Very fun to watch. Which Lamar, I thought the same thing, but not so much anymore. Oh,
I disagree.
The Lamar, the one of the craziest games I have seen in a long time, was the. It was similar to the Monday night game. It was Ravens, Raiders, which
Thursday and Monday night did not disappoint.
It was no, not at all. It was similar to the remember when I think LSU played like Texas A&M in a bowl game?
Yeah.
And it was like they played and it was the
8
third
overtimes.
overtime.
Just kept going.
And no, it was the third overtime and the LSU had gotten a call that they won and they poured the Gatorade on Ed Orgeron's head and then they called it back and then they went 5 more overtimes and then Texas A&M ended up winning and he was soaked and they lost.
Really?
It was the same thing where they called it a touchdown on the field.
Did they? Yeah.
They called it a touchdown for the Raiders on the field. Everybody was throughout. They were shaking hands. Derek Carr was like saying you won. Then they got called back. It was 1st and goal on the half-yard line. Stopped. False start. Stop. Pick. And then the Ravens had another chance, and then Lamar fumbled. But, really fun game. Good week for the NFL. Similar in week 1 for college football. One of the most stacked week 1s I've seen in many years. The headliner, of course, was
Georgia Clemson.
And
I think that game...
You were right. You called it a defensive battle. It was 100% a defensive battle. But you did say Clemson was going to win.
Clemson's offense Georgia had no answers for Georgia on defense. I mean, Georgia's got guys all over the place stopping it. I love Kaylee Ringo. He's probably my favorite player on that defense. But, you know, it looked like Clemson was kind of scared to unleash DJ. He was a little bit too predictable at points. We saw with the pick 6.
I don't think DJ looked... He didn't look great. He didn't look good at all. Well, not look good at all. He didn't look great when he played last year when Lawrence got hurt, and he didn't look great at all this game.
Yeah, and I think
Did you see-
he was very good at Notre Dame last year, but I think Alabama was like the clear number one.
As you said, he wasn't good when it counted?
But he was though.
No.
Yes, he was.
In overtime, he got 3 and outed, and got knocked out of field goal
He got
range.
sacked.
Okay, throw the ball, break the sack,
Did you?
be Patrick Mahomes.
Well, back to my point. I think Alabama is like the clear number one alpha team, and
I'm not after what I saw in Georgia, from Georgia.
no, I disagree.
I think Georgia's
I don't
offense.
think Georgia
Georgia's
has an
offense needs to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think Bama. I think Bama can score whenever they want. Bryce Young is.
Who knows? They can score whenever they want against a high-ranked Miami team who shouldn't be high-ranked.
Yeah, because
They have no defense. And they put up like 30 points against Mercer. Not that impressive. Yeah, I think so. Georgia beat Clemson. Bama destroyed Miami. VT with a big upset in maybe
UNC.
that Friday.
Thursday or Friday.
Yeah,
They lost.
against UNC, VT totally locked them down defensively. Sam Howell looked awful. VT gets the upset. They won another big game week 2, and now they're ranked, I think, top 15, maybe.
This makes you wonder if it was really
And they have a
like
good
this.
defense.
That game has to put some question marks above Sam Howell. I mean,
Yeah, totally.
they lost a ton of production and
In their offensive
Michael Carter,
threats,
Javonte
with
Williams,
the
Diami
receivers,
Brown.
yeah.
One more receiver. I'm blanking on his name right now. But
Yeah.
If you're supposed to be a guy like that, you got to be able to beat an unranked Virginia Tech. I get.
Totally. I mean, I think Virginia Tech's decent,
Yeah,
but
I mean-
still, he didn't look great at all.
He didn't.
He looked like he was lost without good receivers, which is not going to cut it in the NFL. Yeah. So definitely he'll have to show the world what he can do the rest of the year. What else happened week 1? Oh, Iowa dominated Indiana. You called Indiana to win that game.
Yeah, I was
think
totally
me and
wrong.
Kieran
I was not ready for
Iowa.
that. Iowa looked.
Iowa
They
looked-
shut down Penix. And I also think now, seeing that Iowa has 2 good wins,
2
That loss
really good wins.
doesn't look as bad as it did originally for Indiana. I mean, Iowa's 5th-ranked team now.
Yeah. But it was a bad loss.
It was a bad loss, but
was a bad loss.
not as bad as it previously.
Also, I'm not so sure about Iowa State. Obviously, people think they're really, really good, but I'm not so sure
Yeah.
about them. I mean, you never know. Iowa could still be one of those teams that they're ranked 5, and then they make the playoff and play against Alabama and lose by 40. But
Are they going to see Ohio State this year?
in the Big Ten championship game,
That'll be a good game.
yeah, if they make it there, but no other threats in their side with Minnesota, any of those teams. Michigan State looks good, but Minnesota, Northwestern, all those teams look really bad,
Yeah.
and Wisconsin. So, Penn State beat Wisconsin. Penn State looks pretty good. And so yeah. Oh, BYU upset Utah. BYU's ranked now.
Holy War, yeah.
Yeah, they
First time
play
in a while.
Arizona State.
Also, the FSC
home.
Notre Dame game was very good to watch.
Oh, the Florida State Notre
Very
Dame game.
entertaining.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Milton, sorry.
I thought Florida State started to be the real deal until
Very concerning for Notre Dame.
until I saw week 2
If
Notre
you're
Dame
gonna let
against
Florida
Toledo.
State take you all the way, they better be good. But no, you lose.
I don't think
they
they're-
lose to Youngstown, Jacksonville State. Some
I think
FCS team.
even if they had beaten Jacksonville State or Youngstown State, whatever, the fact that showing that we lost that Notre Dame won by 3 against Florida State is showing that Florida State's good. The fact that Notre Dame beats Toledo by 3
Well,
and has to come back.
Toledo's winning the MAC this year. Get Jack Cohn out of South Bend.
Jack Cohn needs to. Buckner came in with a lot of. All right, so we'll end it with some predictions for week 3. It was a really good week 1 and week 2 for college football. Not so great week 3. Bama plays Florida at Florida. I think it's going to be a really good game.
I got Bama winning, and I got a hot take. I think John Mechie's going for 200 receiving yards.
You think Bama wins big?
I don't know about big. I think it's gonna be a shootout, but I think Messi's going for 200.
I think it's not going to be a shootout in the beginning. I think in the beginning it's going to be they're both going to come out slow, and in the first quarter and first half, I think it's going to be like they're both going to have like 20 points or something, maybe under. And then in the second half they're going to both pick it up, but I think definitely Florida's going to stay in it for a while.
Okay.
And Bama might win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Auburn at Penn State. Auburn ranked because they beat 2 teams, I think like 70-0, 60-0.
Yeah, 2 nobody teams, but
2 nobody teams?
yeah, they were nobody teams. It was
Oh! I
Alabama
thought
State.
you were saying Penn State was a nobody team.
no. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, at Penn State. I don't think it's under the lights, but it might be under the lights. Oh, it is under the lights because
7:30.
it's game day.
Yeah.
That might be like a whiteout. Yeah, Auburn's gonna.
Is it at Penn State?
Yeah,
Oh.
Auburn I think looks good this year. I think they're actually gonna be a legit SEC team.
Auburn's got that 2-headed attack out the backfield with Jarquez Hunter and Tank Bigsby. Tank Bigsby, he's very good.
Yeah.
He could provide some problems, but at the end of the day, I think Sean Clifford and Jahan Dotson will just be too much for this defense.
Yeah, I actually totally think Auburn's going to be like Auburn's. Always a question if they're going to be a real SEC team. Their SEC's a hard conference, but they're sometimes good, sometimes not. I think this year they're actually going to be good. But
I don't love Bo Nix.
But I think Penn State. I don't love him. I think he's not bad. I think going into Penn State at night in a good Penn State team who's hot, I think they're going into a hard to win situation. Then Arizona State at BYU. That's upset alert for Arizona State. I
disagree. I'm all in on Jaden Daniels.
I still think Arizona State's gonna.
Arizona State's taking this one.
I agree. Wait, so we have the same. We have the same picks throughout. But I think Arizona. I think it's upset alert because it's a night game too. But Arizona State, I think, wins it. So that wraps it up. Somewhat of a short episode today, but a lot going on in sports. And once MLB playoffs starting, it's going to be really a lot. And the NBA starting up soon because the season ended late last year. So yeah, exciting things coming up for sports. Anything to say?
Nope.
All right.
See you
Peace.